Hello everyone! How adorable is this beautiful kingfisher? Let's talk about how this one was completed. But first, if you're new here, hi, I'm Lisa, I'm a colour pencil artist, a mum, and I create real-time tutorials over on Patreon. This kingfisher and a lot of other pieces seen here are all tutorials on Patreon, available for members and also for individual sale. There's over 70 different types of tutorials, but let's have a look at how the kingfisher was completed. So all of you regulars here now know that we start with the eye when I do pieces like this. It's a really good place to build on from. Going in really lightly with your outline with a nice sharp black pencil, and then going in with some of the soft white pencil to put in that highlight to keep it nice and bright. Using the warm grey one as a base layer, and then going in with the black really lightly over to start to darken. Then we can start to add in some of the colours. So there's a little bit of that orange colour, adding in some of the burnt sienna as well for that brown tone. And then once you're happy with all of that, you can really start to get darker with the black, go back through with the white to put in those little highlights. And then what I did was use a really sharp black pencil just to map out where we can see some of those dark bits around the eye. And then going into the top of the head with the base layers of the cold grey one and the cobalt turquoise. So having a look at the reference photo for this one, you can see that there are little bits of white coming through. It's not one solid blue or green or black colour anywhere. There's little specks of light and dark throughout this whole thing. So what we want to do is make sure we're going with a really sharp pencil, and we're just doing little sort of fur or feather strokes just to put all of these little details in. So you can see I'm doing lines going back into the feathers and in the direction of the feathers. This will give the impression that there are different layers going on throughout the whole head, and you're just gradually building up all of these tones really, really lightly. So don't go in with a really sharp, hard pressure to do those little black lines. You just want to go in really, really lightly, and then you can go through and start to hype up all of the blue and green colors again that you can see, and then go back over with the black, very, very sharp, really, really little tiny lines, really lightly on the paper. And then we can start to go in and put some of the orange sections around the eyes, making sure to blend it down, making it nice and smooth with all of the lighter colors. Then we can just go in and put the rest of the blue and the feathers in, completing the same sort of process as we did for the top of the head. Making sure to have really sharp points on your pencil will really help to get all of these little details in. I just love the look of these blue and orange feathers together. They just complement each other so well. So now it's time to go into the beak. So you'll notice that I'm using a really, really sharp black pencil. I'm using the lightest pressure ever and just really lightly going in and putting in the outline and those straight lines for the top, the middle, and the bottom of the beak. You'll notice that there's no real one hard stroke and we're doing the beak like that. It's all really little lines, very gentle shading to get in the shapes. This is because if you do make a mistake, you can just use your eraser to get it up. If you go in with a really hard pressure and you stuff it up or it's wonky, it's going to be really hard to get up. So you want to go in with really light pressure, and then when you're happy with it, you can start to just build up the colors and get a little bit darker. For the base layers in here, I use some of the cold gray, the warm grey, and also use some of the blue, just really lightly on the side to hype up those colours, and then just going in gradually with the black and getting darker. The white pencil is going to be your friend here, so going into the top section with the white pencil is what's going to make it look opaque, a little bit blurry, and do that sort of white, grey, black tone, which is what we can see in Beaks. And then you can go in and start to just finish up all of those little final touches. And then we can start to move on to all of those beautiful orange feathers on the body of the bird. So what I did first is use the cadmium orange just to map out where you can see all of those little tufts of dark orange on the bird, just so we can map out and make sure that we don't lose where the outline sort of is. And then I'm going over with some of the really bright yellow colour just to add some of that yellow tone. And I'm just starting to move up with my darker oranges to saturate all of these darker orange sections. And then in between that, I'm going back in with the cadmium orange and filling in all of that orange tone. I also added some of the burnt sienna in these darker sections, just really, really lightly. You don't want to go in too heavy with that. And I also added some of the deep red just to add that red tone, and that just helps to darken it all when you mix them all together. The best thing you can do is just pay attention to your reference photo, have a look at where you can see these, make sure you're going in the direction that the feathers are going in the reference photo. and blending down as you go throughout the piece. So you want to go over with your lighter colors, the lighter oranges and yellows, just to help blend it down, make it look nice and smooth. And you can also go in with some black, really lightly though, and I'm saying just use it very sparingly. And you can also go back in with your white pencil, just add a couple of little feathers in the highlight sections, which will make it sort of stand out and look shiny. But I know this explanation may be going a little bit too fast for people and you do want to see it in real time, but remember it is a real-time tutorial. Over on Patreon you get the reference photo, the line art, the material list, and the full real-time videos to complete this one all by yourself. One of our latest tutorials over on Patreon was this beautiful tomato, and of course the leopard. So then we move on to the feet, and you feel like this might be the easiest section, but bird feet are really tricky. You need to make sure you're using really sharp pencils to get all of those little details, and just break it down into shapes that you can see. If you break it down into little sections and different shapes of their placement and the light and dark sections, it makes it a lot easier. But make sure to have really sharp points because there are really little details in there. Making sure to get really dark where you need to and keeping the sections light that are your highlight sections. Moving on to the branch, we're always using our lighter colours and building up to the darker colours, but I did go in with some of the black early on and just map out where you can see some of those little details in the wood. For this sort of texture, you need to make sure you're using sharp sort of pencils, but you want to have a really smooth tone because there's no sort of fur lines or fur strokes or anything in this. You need to make it nice and smooth. Make sure you're using soft circular motions while you're blending down texture like this. And remember, this branch isn't going to be the focal point of this piece. What you want to see when you look at it is the bright orange and the bright blue of the bird. You don't want your eye to go straight to the branch or anything like that. It's just sort of another prop in the picture. You don't want to have too much detail in there so that it's sort of taking away from the bird. And that also goes with the background. So if you haven't completed a background with colour pencil, it takes a really long time. Depending on the paper that you're using as well is how much you're going to have to blend, what sort of solvent or blending process you're going to use when you're doing this. For this piece I used some of the cold grey working up to the sky blue, then the light ultramarine, the ultramarine, adding in a little bit of the cold grey 3 and mixing all of these colours together. I went through, did a layer over everything, blended it down with my colour pencil solvent, and then went through and resaturated the colours. So like I said before, if your paper is going really well and you don't feel like you need a solvent at all, you don't have to use it, it is optional, or you can use a blending stump. You can also use other mediums if you like pan pastel or watercolour would also look really nice. But for me, I just wanted to stick to colour pencils because I'm going to be entering this into an exhibit in the future, so I just want it to be all colour pencil. I also went in with some of my white Polychromos pencil just to help blend it down as well. And you may need to go over the background 2 or 3 times depending on how the paper's going and how you're liking the blending. Remember to step back and have a look at the piece from a distance before you call it done. You don't want it to be really dark blue so that your eye goes straight to that. You want everyone to look at it straight away, see the bird and appreciate the bird. The background is just going to be complementing the bird. But I really hope that you liked this video, guys, and you learned something from it. Remember to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you like about this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys.